Everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming coming to you live here from the PhD Speed Gaming Expo, where we're bringing you all the board game coverage all day long. But right now, we've got Travis from Atlas Games up right now. So,
Hello.
Travis, how you doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
So I see some really cool artwork on the table and some cool components. I'm ready to just jump right into this. And if it's okay with you, I kind of wanted to go over that story you told me
Sure.
in the pre-stream, because I think that's a little funny anecdote in regards to the game.
It is hilarious.
So first up, what have you brought to show off for us today?
We brought Godsforge. It's our new one. It released yesterday.
Oh,
Release
okay.
day was
so
yesterday, so-
brand spanking new. That's why I'm getting the new board game smell coming off of this.
Yeah,
Then.
and it's already gone. So what is in PhD's warehouse is there's none in mine. So.
Oh wow. So it's going to be a popular one then, is what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, it did very well. It was very hot at Gamma. We ordered a reprint immediately following Gamma, so that'll be here in about a month. So we got the ball rolling on that, so we're not out too long.
So what is Godsforge?
Godsforge is a game where we're all wizards, plays 2 to 4 players, and we want to control this forge. It is the last place on our planet that we can do magic, whether we're creating magical items or casting spells. So the way we do that, get that out of the way. We've got sets of dice, so we're going to let you be read for just the moment.
Okay.
And you have a hand of 4 cards. And I pulled out several different examples of cards. And I don't know if you want me to move them so they can be seen.
let me just put them in this camera over here for a second. I'll do one at a time, and you can give us a breakdown of what we're looking at here. Any preference to what order?
Nope, you grab it and go.
All right, so this one popped to me. Crystal Phoenix.
Crystal Phoenix is a gorgeous artwork. All of our magical creations have artwork. So I don't know if you can fit another card in there. Any of the dark cards that have just an intricate design on them, those are just spells.
Okay.
Spells are unique because they're one and done. They do their thing, they go away at the end of the round. Creations will stay out and hit you every round.
Okay.
Or defend it for you every round. So in the example of the Crystal Phoenix, you see on the top left after the name, it says 3 in a row. That is what it takes to cast or to create it. You have 4 dice, so the goal is to get 3 in a row.
Oh, like you just did. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Except that ones, you'll notice on your reference card, ones are wild. They can be anything. So let's say I had rolled a 6, a 5, and a 1. Okay, so I don't have 3 in a row. However, this 1 is wild, so I could slot it right into there, and it would be 3, 4, 5.
Okay. And then 6 has another ability as well?
Yep. So if the 6 is not needed to create a spell or a creation, it creates a Veilstone, which you can use for a variety of things. Like on the Ruination card, you'll see that little symbol underneath the 4 of a kind. That's the Veilstone cost. So if I wanted to cast that, I would need 4 of a kind, so we'll just cheat and throw our dice up here the way they're supposed to be. Look at that, I have 4 of a kind. Woo!
Good roll.
And I've got this Veilstone, which is part of the cost.
Okay.
Other things Veilstones do, if you want to show the lightning sword down at the bottom, that blue shield is defense. So any damage coming at you in a round, you can use the defense. It doesn't do it for free. It costs. It costs 1 Veilstone, and I defend against 2 of the damage coming at me. This one that one just does damage there. That one's unique.
Let's show a little bit more of this gorgeous artwork off here.
Yeah, it's amazing artwork. So the story with the artwork is somebody recommended a Diego Rodriguez for the art because apparently he's done stuff for us in the past. Kyla doesn't know who this dude is, so we're like, how do you contact him? Because her and I share an office. And they were like, we don't know. So she's like, well, then how do I get Diego Rodriguez to do this, right? So she just Googles Diego Rodriguez artist, and the number one
logical
guy,
next step there,
the one guy that comes up at the top, she looks at his artwork portfolio online, and it's gorgeous. I mean, it is amazing. And she pulls some other art that because she'll keep track of all the art. She does most of our development. So a lot of times she'll go, here's 9 pictures. Everybody vote for your top 3. And so that's how we tend to get our art. Everybody voted for this dude. And it's gorgeous. So we signed him, got him going on it. And apparently it's not the Diego Rodriguez that this person who had brought up at the staff meeting, because a few weeks later they were like, well, didn't you sign Diego? I thought you were going to talk to him.
Different Diego
Completely
Rodriguez
different
artist.
Diego. Yeah,
funny.
This guy's out of Spain. He does like skateboard decks for a living, and the art is gorgeous. Like the the Lightning Sword is my favorite card art in the game, and Kyla's favorite is she loves the Shadow Gorgon. So
Definitely very pretty art, and I'm getting the rock vibe that you would see from the skateboard deck art coming to life in these cards here. It looks really cool. So now that we got a little bit of a backbone of what some of the cards do here, can you take me through what a round of this game would look like?
sure. So you're gonna have 4 cards, and real quick, let me tell you what the Veilstones do. On top of you can spend them to create things. You'll spend them to add damage or add defense. The other cool thing they do is when you have a couple extras. Let's see here. Remember, I needed 4 of a kind, so let's say I rolled 3 5s and a 2. Grab one more. For every Veilstone I spend, I can alter the dice up or down 1. So if I wanted
okay.
4 of a kind and I have a 2, I can spend 3 Veilstones to make that 2 a 5. I still have the Veilstone for the cost, so I could do that 4 of a kind with the
and then you
Veilstone
could
as a
do
cost.
your Ruination.
Yep.
Okay.
So in the first round, when I deal out 4 cards, because everyone will start with 4, if you get any cards that have that Godstone cost or have a Veilstone in their cost, just discard it. If we're just going to play the 1 or 2 rounds, you don't have to worry about it either.
Okay. So typically, what is the playtime on Godsforge?
It's about a half hour tops.
Okay, so it's not
long.
a big long game.
And I mean, with 2 players, it doesn't come into play. But the Forge itself, when one person gets knocked out, the narrative story is the Forge has absorbed so much magic, it's starting to just throw it back out. You know, it's lashing out at us because we're doing evil things.
Of course.
The reality is we don't want you to sit and watch your friends play a game for another 30 minutes because that's no fun for anyone. So
Exactly.
after someone gets knocked out, I've yet to see a game go beyond really 2 turns because you're taking 7 damage on top of everything else just from the Forge.
Oh, okay. So it accelerates the end game
Yeah.
then. Very cool. I know that's a big topic of conversation is when games have player elimination and the game kind of draws out after that, and then you have one person sitting and twiddling their thumbs, and it really ruins the experience.
Yep. There's several games I will not play because my friends just knock me out and I watch them play games for 2 hours. I'm just like, I don't want to play that game.
All right.
And normally you're only going to be allowed to do one spell. Some of the spells and only one creation actually say at the top, you may play another card this round.
Okay.
Kyla is amazing when she does a reference card. You really don't need to read the rules. So if you just follow along on the reference card,
I mean,
we can play.
I love me a good quick reference
Yep.
card. That goes a long way in making a game a lot more accessible.
Everything is simultaneous. So once we're all set to go, we go to the Forge roll, we start rolling our dice.
Okay.
So to make this easy, I'm going to show you my hand as I roll. I have one that requires a 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
I have one that's an 11 plus and 2 odd. Now 11 plus can be any number of dice, but since I only have 4 dice, my 11 plus has to be 2 dice if I want to be able to try and get this one to go off.
So that's an 11 plus, and you need 2 odd
Correct.
as part of it? Okay.
Yep.
So, for example, here I've got Heart of the Forest. That would be a 9 plus and a 10 plus I would need?
Yep.
Oh, that's an expensive one then.
It is, but that one's a really useful card.
Oh, yeah, you don't die.
Yeah. So like in my example, I rolled perfectly. I would do the Spawn of Flame, and that allows me to do a second card, so then I would do the Veilstone Beacon. Now, I don't want you to see what I'm actually doing, so whenever I'm playing, when I'm ready to go, I'm going to lay a card face down to show that I'm ready. So you know that I'm ready to go, rather than we're sitting here waiting for each other to make a move.
Gotcha. So then I would play
Yep.
my card face down there.
So then we go to reveal.
Okay.
Boom. On reveal, I could show this and say it says I may play another card. I still have to pay for it, but I planned for that. So I have the Veilstone Beacon, 3, 4, and a 5, because that one is wild, so it becomes a 5.
Mm-hmm.
So the Spawn of Flame, the reveal, is just that I can play another card. The Veilstone Beacon on reveal says gain 3 Veilstones. Boom. So I gain 3 Veilstones that I can use for future, and then each upkeep I will gain another Veilstone.
Okay.
You've revealed the
Crystal Barrier. So 3 in a row, I had a 2, 3, 4. That's going to be gain 2 of the Veilstones, and then I see this defense of 15 down there?
Correct.
So what does that mean?
That means you're going to defend against my 2 damage that's coming at you, and then that's a spell, so it's going to go away.
Okay, so this was a one-time use then.
Now, the one thing I probably forgot to mention was rerolls. You had rolled 4 dice, you'd got that. You had this one left over.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 1 dice rerolls. So you should reroll that to see if you can get a 1 or a 6 so you can generate another Veilstone
Oh, okay.
for future.
So-
You got one more. Go for it.
Okay.
Nothing.
Didn't
All right,
get it.
So
but
life
it's
goes on.
2 singular die rerolls.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's first turn. You defend against that. I don't do any damage. You're doing no damage to me. There's 2 players, so we would have started our little markers at 30. Your spell goes away.
And then where did the Veilstones go?
They sit in front of you.
Sit in front of me? Okay.
Because now you'll have those if you need to alter a dice, if you need it for casting. Now, during the upkeep, you're allowed to discard up to 2 cards and draw back up to 4.
Okay.
The smartest way to play is to look at the spread of numbers in your hand.
Try and get some variety so you're
Get
not
a lot
stuck.
of variety so that you have a better chance of casting a spell. Because the likelihood of a 4 of a kind coming up is a mathematical number that I'm not going to do right now. It's over 216. I remember that because 3 of a kind is 1 in 216. So take 216 times 6.
Oy. Oh boy. Okay.
1,200 and some. So it's 1 in 1,200 and some, right? So it's not going to happen.
Low
that
odds.
often. Yeah. So make sure you have a wide spread of numbers in your hand so that you can cast a spell for sure, basically.
So I'll be discarding that one, and then we draw up to 4 cards.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, yeah, neither one of us cast one. Some of the cards will say your hand size is increased by 1, so you just draw back up to 5, 6, whatever. So you need
2 cards.
I'm going to grab 3.
All right.
And then we just go right back at it. As soon as you got your cards, you can start rolling dice.
Sounds good.
That can't happen.
All right. Cool. So I'm going to do that. And that just means I'm ready. I don't need to do anything else. Just put my card face down and just like, I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll do that then. All right. So I'm ready to go. Reveal.
All right. Reveal. I'm doing a fireball. So the fireball here is this damage cannot be prevented, and it does 6, or does so it's 6 base damage, and then +2 for each of the
Veilstones you want to
Veilstones.
spend.
So I do have 2. So I mean, this is the last round we're going to
Right.
be playing. So I'm going to go ahead
You
and
might
I'm
as
going to
well.
spend those just so I can hit you a little bit harder. So that'll be +4, so 10 damage directly
All right.
to you.
So I would take 10 down to 20 from 30. I cast Drain Life. I need a 10 plus. I need 2 odds, so I'm going to spend 2 Veilstones to make the 4s into 3s.
Now, a question for you is, I did roll a 1.
Okay.
Could I have then made that into a 6 and then taken a Veilstone before I did the fireball?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you could do 2 more damage to me.
Cool.
So I did Drain Life. I had 1 extra Veilstone after spending 2 to get down. So it's going to do 6 damage, 8. So I'm going to do 8 damage to you. And that'll knock you down to 22. But I'm also gaining 6 life because I drained it from you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
So
you
in
had-
theory,
you had to
if
beat
this
me
was the
there.
last round, I would beat you. So
All right, very cool. So that was Godsforge. Where can our viewers go to find more information about Godsforge by Atlas Games?
right on our website, it's www.atlas-games.com.
And available as of yesterday.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you.
Really do appreciate it. And thank all of you for watching at home. We're going to take a brief break right now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with more coverage here from the PhD Speed Gaming Expo. But for now, I'm Matt. Have a good one, everyone.